Hi everyone, this is my first video. My name is Kan. Uh, for something about myself, I have done my BTech from IIT Mandi, and post that I learned investment analysis by myself. I was a kind of a DIY investor. From 2018 to 2020, I did my MBA from IIM Lucknow in finance. COVID opened a lot of opportunities for me, so my joining to my company got delayed, and I spent a considerable amount of time in understanding technical analysis. I had been investing in markets from last 8 years, and I was a pure fundamental guy. However, I wanted to explore myself a little more, and then I decided to understand the technical analysis. Since this is my first video, I think I hope to make this experience enjoyable to you also. In this first video, I would like to talk about the six stocks that I was looking at last week. In all these six stocks, I have positions as a disclosure. So let's start discussing about those stocks. The first stock we are going to talk about is Gujarat Fluorochem. Okay, yeah, so this is the chart here of Gujarat Fluorochem. Yeah, so the software that I'm using here for my analysis is called TradingView. It's a fantastic software, and the skin that I'm using here is it's black in tone, right? Okay, so if you look here, this is the weekly chart of Gujarat Fluorochem. I took a small position here at this point in time, right? And during the breakout, I did play from this point, which is like 1210 or to 1660, right? And when on daily chart, when I saw that the chart was weakening a little, I took an exit. However, I took another entry last week, right? So I'll just show you where I took my entry and why I took my entry. Now, if you look the charts carefully, the stock didn't break 20 DEMA. So this red line is 20 DEMA. So the chart didn't break 20 DEMA for its entire run, right? And if you look here, it always consolidated. It touched 20 DMA and the stock bounced back, right? So that was the reason I got interested again in the charts. The stock didn't correct it even during the pretty sharp correction that happened in small cap. Now coming back to the chart, now if you look here, there was a very small shakeout that happened here on 11th August. However, apart from that, the stock never closed much below 20 DEMA, right? So the earnings of the company came. The earnings was good. The company showed QOQ EPS growth of 14-15%, and the management had guided for 35-40% EBITDA margin. Overall, the commentary was pretty good, right? So post the earnings, there was a lesser interest in the stock. There was the classic compression in volumes, right, and even the stock price. Now this was the level when I took the entry in the stock. So my entry price was 1700. That was my first entry, right? And the stop loss was pretty small. So there were two stop losses. One was three consecutive 3-day closing below 20 DEMA, or this yellow line that you see, that was my stop loss, right? Post that, the stock still consolidated. The volumes increased a little bit, which made me a little hopeful of a good move, right? Then again, there was a pretty small movement for 2 to 3%. However, on 31st August, the stock actually broke out, and sadly, I took another position which was at 1780. Right, I did look at intraday chart to take my second big position. However, the stock squatted. I'm still holding the position, and the stock is still holding 20 DEMA. So I'll wait for this position for a week, and if it doesn't move, I think I'll exit this position. Apart from Gujarat Chlorochem, I think there is another chart I would like to discuss, which is Ester DM. This is a pretty interesting company. It's in hospital space, and all stocks in hospital segment, they were doing well, right? So if you look a little bit about this company came the IPO came in 2017, 2018 rather, February 2018, and the stock didn't give any return. And I think the IPO was around 185, 186. However, recently the stock broke out from its all-time high with almost all-time high volume, right? So I took a position in this stock at 194, right, which was this level. So this on last week I think that was 27th August, right? So I took a position in the stock, and luckily I didn't have to wait, and the stock just rocketed. Ideally, I was willing to wait till the stock touches 10 DEMA. However, I mean, there's never an ideal scenario in trading. So I think this stock played out well for me. Uh, the third stock which I purchased was Edgy Infra. Again, it's a infrastructure company that came up with phenomenal earnings, and there is a great increase in order book of the company. And of course, the union minister is focusing a lot on road transport. So in this stock, I actually looked at the charts, and if you notice carefully, apart from this region, the stock always bounced back from 50 DEMA. And if you look at the up move, right, the stock was moving till like it's honoring 20 DEMA, right? So I took this position on the stock somewhere around this price on this date. That is again 27th August. The by my purchase price was 555 rupees with the stop loss of again 50 DEMA, right? And it's also around near the BRN if you want to look at it. However, when I purchased the stock suddenly went up to 600. I got lucky there, but the stock squatted. I think if you look the charts carefully, 600 610 is a major resistance, and once this hurdle is crossed, the stock should rocket up. The fourth stock that I took my position was Indoco Remedies. Okay, so this stock is an interesting stock. The stock gave an all-time high breakout after again 6 years, 7 years, right? So pretty interesting move in the stock, right? And of course, it followed by the earnings and their plant getting approval from. So they had a plant which had USA 483, and I think that the plant is getting remediated, and it will become uh, it will come out of the official action indicated, right? So the day I took position was again, if you look at the chart carefully, it adheres to 20 DEMA, right? However, it bounces back from 50 DEMA. So my position was closer to 455 around, right? So I think that's again I took a position of 27th August. My stop loss is pretty shallow on this, and the stop loss would be 50 DMA. When I took the position, it was closer to 3%, right? Again on this stock, the stock moved up. I mean, it showed a phenomenal move till 519, and then the stock squatted. I'm carefully following this stock, and I think my stop loss would be my purchase price, because I don't want to make a loss on this. So this was a position of Indoco Remedies. Again, it's an all time high position that I've taken, hoping to make some quick bucks on this. Okay, so the fifth position that I took was Kim's. Okay, so Kim's was a pretty different position that I took. So I used a concept called IPO based breakout, right? The stock Kim's, I think the IPO rate was 950 or so. The IPO day high was 150. The stock fell down to 930 again. Then again, it made a high of 1330. It corrected. That's how the movement was. However, post the earnings, the stock showed a pretty good move, right? And then at 1330, when the stock broke out, right, I took a trade on this day, which was 17th August, right? However, my first trade was at 1330, and then I purchased more when the stock went up a little more, right? I mean, in on hindsight, it looked like a mistake, but let's see how the stock plays out. I'm willing to give it a little bit more leeway, because it's a fresh issue and there might be a little bit volatility. But I think it's a lost cause now. I think I'll wait for a week, and then exit this stock, right? So these were the five positions that I took, right? I think there is another position that I want you to look at is was GNA Excel. Again, this position has been pretty beneficial for me. I entered at the stock on this day where you see the arrow, right? Again, the lowest volume day post the earnings. The stock went up to 770, 780, but however it corrected. But I am still holding the stock, and with the stop loss as closing below 20 DEMA. The chart looks even phenomenal, and I'm thinking about adding it more. Let's see how it plays out. Well, guys, so that's it for the day. I think I do have some 4 or 5 stocks in my list for next week. If you want to look at, let's show you the list. Okay, for 4th September. Yeah. So these are the six stocks that I'm currently looking at. I mean, ironically, this, not surprisingly rather, VMart, Safari, VIP Industries, these all are economy opening trades. I mean, if you want to look at the chart, this is the chart of VIP Industries. It's so the all-time high for VIP Industries was 640, but if we look here, there is a considerable resistance about 500, 510 rupees. But if you look at the volumes here, the volumes are pretty high, and it may easily take out this 510 resistance. Let's see if the chart structure is good. I may take another position on this. Then I have Bajaj Electricals. Again, a pretty interesting chart. If you look at it on a yearly basis, the stock consolidated nicely around between 1,000 to 1,200 levels, right? However, now the stock is again near its all-time high level, and if you look at the compression at this point in time, the stock looks poised for big move. Okay. Then we have Fortis Hospitals. Again, I think there is some crazy rally going on in Fortis Hospital, and this is the chart. I mean, if you look here, the stock is consolidating, and I think it's ripe for a fresh move. Just look at the volumes. I mean, they are just crazy. Uh, that's why Fortis got me interested. And this is Canfin Homes. Again, the volume movement is great, and there is a huge growth in real estate sales in the southern states, especially in Hyderabad, where they are focused at. Uh, the stock has an all-time high of around what 657. However, the stock has rebounded many times from 615, 620 levels, and I think if I have to take any position, I'll take it above 620 level. But I'm keenly focused on this stock. Then the next stock I'm looking at is Safari Industries. I think this is the chart on NSE, but the stock was listed on BSE. Let me open the BSE chart. Yeah. So again, this Safari Industries, the stock had an all-time high of what, 1,000 rupees. However, if you look carefully, the stock has broken the level of 830, where the majority of time it's spent, right? And if we want to play an economy opening trade post COVID, Safari offers a pretty good opportunity. Similarly, coming back to VMart, again, in this chart, there's a lot of compression here, right? And if you look carefully at 5 year level, this is actually just above the ATH breakout, right? 3,300 was the previous ATH, and then the stock, after breaking out, the stock corrected a little, which is again a healthy correction. And it has found support around the previous high. So that makes me pretty interested in the stock. Let's see how it plays out in the next week. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all for listening. That's it for the day. Bye bye.